the mafia, Bills mafia, we the mafia, Bills mafia, we the mafia, Bills mafia, we the mafia, Bills mafia. I don't want to be in the AFC. We gon' grind this thing out for 17 weeks, yeah. You hating on the Bills, then you way off. Talking cheap, meet us in the playoffs. Game day, you know we going off. Got your team captain shaking at the coin toss. We say mafia, that means family to me, cause we stand with the team, best fans in the league. Bills mafia, Bills mafia, we the mafia, Bills mafia, Bills mafia, we the mafia, Bills mafia, Bills mafia, we the mafia, Bills mafia, Bills mafia, we the mafia. Let's go Buffalo, let's go Buffalo, let's go Buffalo, let's go Buffalo. Let's go Buffalo, let's go Buffalo, let's go Buffalo, let's go Mafia. Yo, sir, y'all got any Josh Allen jerseys? First thing, what's up with your mask? And who's Josh Allen? Yo, we in the pandemic. What year is it? Bro, it's 1995. So Jim Kelly our quarterback? Yeah, bro. Yeah. Bills Mafia. Don Brown. Yeah. It's the mafia, you know I'm rocking with the Bills. It's the mafia, you know I'm rocking with the Bills. It's the mafia, I'm with the Buffalo Bills. It's the mafia, you know I'm rocking with the Bills. Hey, who you reppin'? What's your team? Who you reppin'? What's your team? You know I'm reppin' for my team. I got a talent on my team. Like a high Jordan Boyer, can you catch it? Trade day is like a mask, you're not catching anything. Matt Milano making plays, we not scared of any team. Best in the AFC, all the praise of Brandon Bean. You hear Sean McDermott clapping while I'm snapping. Jerry Hughes will get the sex soon after snapping. Andre Roberts running back, ain't no just backing. Mafia, we all ride and we got traction. We got Beasley, we got Diggs. Mike McKenzie make you miss. Dawson Knox with the stiff arm, treat opponents just like his. Feliciano, Deion Dawkins block defenders like the fans. Hey, it's the mafia. I said no one on top of us. I said no one is blocking us on top of our division, so it's clear that it's no stopping us. Google best team in the league and we popping up. Hey, who you reppin'? What's your team? Who you reppin'? What's your team? You know I'm reppin' for my team. I got a salad on my team. It's the mafia, you know I'm rockin' with the Bills. Yeah, it's the mafia, you know I'm rockin' with the Bills. What's good? What's good, everybody? Happy New Year! Happy New Year to the Bills Mafia and everybody that's tuned in right now. I am Andre the George Robinson, the Fire Starter. Buffalo Bills edition to Rise Up Early is here. And of course, we got the Bills and Bengals coming up. And it wouldn't be right if I did not start off the New Year's doing this thing the appropriate way. It's the biggest game of the year. And I have Bengals correspondent, Bengals fanatic, Bengals enthusiast, my guy, Blaze Thunder Gabbard. What's good, Blaze?
What's happening? How's it going, Dre?
Pretty good, man. It's pretty good over here. How is it over there? Happy New Year to you as well. What's going on, man? You ready? Are you ready? Are you ready for tomorrow night? Y'all ready?
I'm ready. You know how like those Lil Wayne songs used to start with that lighter flick?
Yeah.
Well, you know, I start mine with that energy drink click of the cat.
Let's go. I just hope you ain't capping. I hope ain't no capping now. Ain't gonna be no capping, even though you snapping, ain't no capping. Let's go. Look, y'all, it's Buffalo Bills edition to Rise Up Early. Make sure y'all like and share this right now. We are on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and any other social media platform that you can think of right now. Myself, the Fire Starter, and Blaze Thunder Gabbard, Bengals enthusiast, is in the building with me. Man, we are going to talk about the Bengals and Bills. First up, I want to start a little segment
before we get analytical and start talking about positions and what matchups you looking forward to and what's going to be the X factors, all the fun questions that we ask, all the interesting questions we ask. I want to start off this show for the new year with, what do you think about this person when I mention them? So I'm going to say a couple of names, Blaze, and I want you to tell me what you first think of when that name comes to mind. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's have a little fun with this thing. By the way, call line is open too, 716-954-5209. If you want to put in any comments you can. The comment section is open, but my phone line is open too. You can bang that line and we here for you. All right. Now, let's start off with a Bengals player, Joe Mixon.
Okay, so you want just the first thing I think about when I think of Joe Mixon?
Absolutely.
I would say a slight disappointment. I mean, Joe Mixon, he's had a decent season, but according to my expectations for what I had for him, a little under. He did have an injury, but then also you got to look at running backs at the age that he's at start to decline. The running back is a dime a dozen these days, and he's just starting to hit that that slight decline in his career, in my opinion. But to that being said, his college teammate Samaje Perine has picked up what he has slacked.
All right. T. Higgins.
Oh man, one of my favorites. One of my favorite Bengals. We made that draft selection of T. Higgins. Just heart. His story of his mother. His mother was addicted to drugs and overcame that. It's just every time I think of T. Higgins, I got a warm heart for him and his family. But just baller, just baller, big rebounds, basketball player. Just those are the things that come to mind when I think of T. Higgins.
All right. Jordan Poyer.
Circle that guy. That's what comes to my mind for this week for the Bengals. Circle Jordan Poyer, because if this game's going to get wrecked, or if somebody I already predicts for the Bills to have an interception, it's going to be Jordan Poyer.
All right, interesting enough. You said circle that guy. No one, and I mean no one. What Bills Mafia gonna tell you? Circles those wagons though, like the Buffalo Bills do. But that's a good one. I like that one. Circle. All right, so pretty much you would have a game plan for Jordan Poyer if you were the Bengals. He's somebody you looking for.
Definitely the number one guy I'm looking for. When anything goes through the air, or even on the ground.
All right, interesting enough. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in right now. Happy New Year's to Matt Amato. Happy New Year's to Dalton Smith, the guy who wins more awards, has more doggone medals than Kurt Angle, my guy. Shout out to NCW. What's up, Sam Slade? He said tough as nails for him. Marcus the Alphabets is in here as well. Yuri Burrows, Happy New Year to you. Adrian Audrey, Happy New Year to you. Thomas and Matt, what's good? Happy New Year's to you guys. Make sure you like and share the show. All right. With that being said, let's move on. We'll get to somebody else. His name is James Cook.
James Cook, not quite there yet. He's actually had a good season. He's had about the season I thought he would. But I will say, keep your eyes out. Keep your eyes out. I think next year he'll start to bloom. I think he's gonna have a great career. He's got the bloodlines of a champion, good running back. So I like Cook.
All right, interesting. Sam Slade said coming soon as well. All right. Now let's get a little analytical. I know we took the first 10 minutes of the show to talk about what do you think of when you say this person? What's the first thing that comes to mind? We're gonna come back to that later. But we're going to get a little analytical. Now it's time to get to the fun, the bread and butter part, right? Now we got to talk about the game in itself, players in itself, all right? So obviously the first matchup that comes to mind when you say Bills Bengals is Josh Allen versus Joe Burrow, all right? Now, I want any and everybody to put it in the comment section right now. Which quarterback leads the league statistically? Is it Joe Burrow or is it Josh Allen? Which quarterback leads in quarterback categories right now? More quarterback categories. Is it Joe Burrow or is it Josh Allen? Put it in the comment section. But now, talk about that. Talk about that matchup. Josh Allen, Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I mean, the quarterbacks do get a lot of credit. It's a team game, but when it comes to winning losses, it's usually on the quarterback's back. Two great quarterbacks. Love Josh Allen coming out of Wyoming. Joe Burrow has always been my guy out of LSU. I'm not a tank guy. I don't like to tank, but that is one time in my life where I was like, please Bengals, lose because I want that guy. I think gonna step outside of this game, Buffalo Bills Cincinnati for a second. I think that Patrick Mahomes is gonna have a struggle day today. I think that the Chiefs will probably still win. I think that Patrick Mahomes is gonna struggle today. I think the MVP comes out of this Monday night. I think that one of these guys is gonna show out, and they're gonna win the MVP this Monday. For me, I think it's my guy Joe Burrow, but if it's Josh Allen, I can see that too. They offer two different things. Joe Burrow puts it needle in a haystack, puts that ball where it needs to be. One of the most precise passers of his career in NFL history. Josh Allen, just a beast overall, huge arm, threat to run. Both of these guys are going to have a great game on Monday, no matter the result. They're both going to have a good game.
All right, with that being said, my guy is here. My guy's in the building. Joe Monster McDowell's in the building. You know he is. He is big, huge, wide. For those who do not know Joe's great news, I mean, Joe just got some great news before the new year started. So I need Joe to let everybody know about that great news and make sure y'all support him too as we talk about Bills Bengals. Joe, tell everybody the great news, man.
Are you talking about my gonorrhea went away?
Oh my God. Great way to start the year.
No, I was informed that a picture of mine is going to be used and published in Sports Illustrated. So that's pretty cool stuff. So I'm humbled by that. And I appreciate, all the love Sports Illustrated going to show me. So that's definitely an accomplishment getting the picture in Sports Illustrated. So that's cool stuff. That's how we're going to start the year. Like I'm 5 minutes late and you start already. Like I'm taking a shit and I'm like, Audrey Torres is live. I'm like, really? Like I told you I'm going to be a couple minutes.
I didn't even see that. I'm sorry. I promise you. I apologize. I wanted to be on time for these guys. I swear, New Year, we cook it off. We started good, but I'm glad we got everybody here. So, by the way, Joe Monster McDowell in the building. My guy, my host is in the building, along with Cincinnati Bengals representative, correspondent, enthusiast, fanatic. My guy, Blaze Gabbert, I call him Blaze in a monster machine, but Blaze Thunder Gabbert. Now, Joe, we're talking about analytically the game in itself, the matchup between Josh Allen and Joe Burrow. Can you give us some thoughts on that matchup in itself?
Two of the best young QBs in the league are going to battle it out on prime time for a chance at the first place in the AFC. Like, there's nothing else that to be said. It's written. Like, the story's written. It's going to be a game. Whether it's a Cinderella game or one team shits the bed or the other one does, it's going to be a great game. This is what we watch football for. Building to the end of the year, two powerhouse teams, two great young NFL quarterbacks that we're going to have for years to come. You know what I'm saying? You got Jamar Chase, who's a stud. You got Stephon Diggs, who's a stud. Like, I just expect them to stand toe-to-toe and just punch each other in the face till one of them falls. And I'm going to look forward to loving every minute of it.
All right. So, question was asked already in the comment section. Which quarterback leads more in statistical categories? Is it Josh Allen or Joe Burrow? Alicia said Josh Allen. Hey, Alicia, Happy New Year to you as well. Brett, Happy New Year to you. Walter, Happy New Year to you. But who is it? Joe, who is it? Who leads in more statistical categories?
Realistically or my opinion?
Yeah, we want the realistics.
I don't know. You know damn well I'm not a numbers guy. I don't follow stats worth of shit. I don't care. Like, wins and losses. Stop calling me Joe. It's weird. You ever call me Joe in 5 years?
Well, come on, man. I have it. You know what? It's a new year. It's a new year, Monster. Listen, Joe Monster McDowell. I'm calling it. You hear this? I probably ain't said Joe 6 times in a year, and I already done called him Joe.
People don't know me, call me Joe.
Twice already. But the answer is actually Joe Burrow. Speaking of Joe, the answer is Joe. Joe, ain't that crazy? The answer is Joe Cool Burrow. Now, Blaze, for you, now that you know that the answer is Joe Burrow, right? I'd love to know, what does Joe Burrow do that puts a W under the Bengals column this week?
Well, you know, outside of the game of football, another thing I believe in is that energy is transferred. So, like, if you have positive energy, if you spread positive energy, you know, usually you get positive results, law of attraction, things of that sort. It's gonna be rocking in Cincinnati. So, you know, outside of like the pinpoint margin of how close these quarterbacks are, we do have the advantage of being at home. We're gonna have 70,000 fans rocking. So I think they want it. I know Joe Burrow wants the MVP. I can just see the way they were playing the Patriots last week. They got up big early and they just kept throwing. So they're going for it. No matter if they say that they're not going for it, he's going for that MVP. So he's going to show out on Monday night.
You know what's sad is I don't think Allen or Joe Burrow is going to win it. They're going to find a way to give it to Patrick Mahomes or somebody else because of politics. It's bullshit.
We'll see today because I want to see this Chiefs game because I think that Patrick Mahomes is going to have a rough day.
What's crazy is last game, he barely got him through it, and the announcers are, Patrick Mahomes had an awesome, leading his team in overtime or blah, blah, blah. Like, dude, he threw like shit. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you can already see the rhetoric's there that they're just kissing Mahomes' ass and they're trying to get him up there. It's whatever. Like, you can keep the MVP. Give me a fucking Super Bowl.
Hey, I told y'all this weeks ago that was going to happen. I told plenty of people it's going to be Patrick Mahomes who wins the MVP. If he has 13, 14 wins, he's familiar. He's a fan favorite. He's in commercials. It's going to be Patrick Mahomes. I already written that off. But Alicia said nothing to you, Blaze. She said, ain't nothing Joe Burrow going to do that's going to allow y'all to win this game. She said, we winning. Ha, ha, ha. She is dying laughing. Monster, let me ask this question to you. Who and what does Josh Allen do that puts a W under the Bills column?
He keeps Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase off the field. We need the run game to be established. We need to have long drives that end in points, and we need to control time of possession. That's what we need to do, and Josh needs to be Josh. Same way for Blaze, Joe Burrow's got to be Joe Burrow. Do the things that you do that got us here. Don't change anything. Don't try to do anything special. Just do what you've been doing. Do what works. Do what's solidified as successful. And with Josh, it's just control the ball. Don't make stupid mistakes. Have drives that take a little while to keep the other offense off the field and end those drives with points. You control the flow. You control the game. And that's what we're going to do to win. Josh has been doing it all year. Joe Burrow's been doing it all year. That's what you have to do. And in retrospect, they probably have to do the same thing to us. Keep Josh and shit off the field. But that's what they got to do. Long drives, establish the run game, and put points up as often as you can and make sure most of your drive ends in some kind of points.
All right. So interesting that you mentioned that. You said that he has to do what he's been doing. Don't change anything. Well, we're going to get into the run game in a minute, which includes, obviously, Josh Allen. Do you want Josh Allen to continue to be that Josh Allen that he's been in the run game? Just a question for you, Monster. And how do you feel about Josh Allen in the run game, Blaze? So go ahead, Monster, first.
No. I said it week 2. Stop running so damn much. So we got running backs for it. It's what we pay a running back room for. So just continue to do what he's doing. And, Josh's stats haven't been that great. Yeah, but we're establishing a run game, which is something we needed to do going into the playoffs. We need to run the football. So all the people that are, Josh's stats are shit, like, you don't understand football because you're a moron. Like, he's giving it to the running back. That's why he's not throwing it for 400 fucking yards. Like, you know what I'm saying? We don't have to beat you by 40. Like, we can just win the game and establish a run game. So, I said from week 2, it's eventually going to catch up with Allen. All these hero runs, And all this hurdling and shit, eventually it's going to catch up to him and he's going to get fucking popped and he's going to wind up injured. Like, I don't want that. I understand play football is who he is, but minimize the risks that you take, especially at this time of the year where it counts. Like, this is crunch time. This is where you got paid your $250 million for. Like, these are the games, this one going forward, that your ass needs to win because that's what those big-ass checks are for. So, no. Let the run game be established. We got Singletary. We got Cook. Give them the ball. Stay the hell out of it, Josh, unless it's absolutely necessary.
Blaze, your thoughts? Josh Allen running the football.
I totally agree. You took the words out of my mouth. You know, you got running backs. We talked about Cooks earlier, up and coming. I mean, you got these guys that are paid to run the ball. With that being said, I mean, you got to win the game. This is a big game for the Bills, so he's going to have to do some running. He's gonna have to play Josh Allen ball to win this game. But at the same time, you got to develop habits. It's habits. This is how you're winning games, but it's only sustainable for so long. So if you want Josh Allen for another 6 to 10 years, he's got to cut it out. You got to start slowing down. You got to find other ways to win. But for the near future, I think that you got to just stick with the script, be that Josh Allen for the rest of the year. But for prolonged career starting next year, and even starting a little bit this year, you got to start slowing down on that running and start handing that ball off and start using your arm talent to win these games because you're a quarterback. You know, we've seen what happened to Cam Newton. You know, it only lasts so long. You can only be so great playing like that for so long.
Yeah, totally agree with most of it. Here's what I will say. Josh Allen does what's necessary with the dog mentality to win football games. And I get it. There's a lot of people who have speculation on the Bills as far as can they really run the football? Well, I'm going to answer that today to start off the new year right now. If you are a person who says that the Buffalo Bills don't have a run game, you should probably mute yourself for the rest of the year. And that's 364 days left in the year. And don't talk football. Number one. Number two, secondly, the Buffalo Bills have a run game. The problem with the Bills' run game is that they don't, early in the season, they couldn't sustain drives with the run game late in games because late in games, they were tired out. Those running backs, for some reason, were tired out. They couldn't sustain the run game. The play calling for the run game was god-awful, was terrible. They weren't utilizing the running backs the way they should, so they couldn't ice games. But the Buffalo Bills have figured that out. Obviously, you've seen that. Josh Allen, you just heard Monster talking about Josh Allen and his production going down a little bit because they've sustained the run, which two things are sustainable usually in the playoffs: a run game and defense. They both travel in the playoffs. And we know this. And obviously, Buffalo being a cold weather place, you're going to have to really be able to run the football to be successful in the playoffs. When the game is slower, when it's more about making plays, more plays than the other. Now, the Buffalo Bills right now, if you look at the Buffalo Bills stats, are number one when it comes to yards per carry. All right. They're number one. They're 6.89 yards per carry. And people will say, well, Josh Allen's the real reason for that. If you're that person who says Josh Allen is the only reason for that, again, you should mute your mic for 364 days this year and not talk sports. Because if you would know, you know that the Buffalo Bills running backs average 4.9 yards a carry. And that was number 4th in the league in run yards per carry. All right. So it's not that they can't run the football. It's the fact that they don't utilize it enough. And in the beginning of the year, they couldn't sustain drives to ice games, which we watched them lose to Miami. Watched them lose to the Jets. You saw that debacle, the crazy debacle at home against Minnesota, right? We all saw that. That was because they couldn't run efficiently late in games. It's not because they can't run. So, again, the Buffalo Bills have a running game. Speaking of running game, I wanted to talk about Devin Singletary and Joe Mixon. You mentioned Joe Mixon earlier. And what was your thoughts again for everybody who wasn't here earlier on the show that's just watching Buffalo Bills edition to Rise Up Early. Blaze, tell him again what you thought about Joe Mixon.
I said slightly disappointing and, slightly declining, in my opinion.
All right. Now, if you look at the stats, I don't know, people don't care about statistics, all like that. Well, some people do. Some people do, some people don't, right? Devin Singletary has more yards than Joe Mixon this year. Anybody know that? Did anybody know that? If I would have told you.
Did Mixon get injured at all this year?
He did miss a couple games.
Okay.
He missed a couple games. Hey, but does Devin Singletary have a 5-touchdown game this year? Nope.
No.
I don't think he has 5 touchdowns this year.
No, he does. Devin Singletary has exactly 5 touchdowns for the whole season. Right? Now, Mixon has 200 carries, almost 800 yards for the season with 6 touchdowns. We know about the 5-touchdown game that Mixon had. Phenomenal game that he had on that. But which running back core will have the better game come tomorrow? Will it be the Bengals or will it be the Bills? And I'll let you two have at that. I'll start with Blaze and then Monster.
I'm gonna go ahead and say the Bills because the Bills probably run the ball a little bit. Cincinnati's coming out. We're firing the ball. It's gonna be all in the air. Joe Burrow is going for that MVP. Like they're going for the MVP. They're gonna be slinging this rock. Mixon's gonna be more of a receiver than a running back. That's my opinion of I think the game's gonna go.
Monster.
I agree with him, and it's not because it's a Bills thing, but it's just he's right. Like if it's funny because if you think that these two son bitches that are battling for the MVP are going to let the coaches take the ball out of their hands for this game, you're wrong. This game is Josh Allen versus Joe Burrow, and they know it. It's Cincinnati versus Buffalo, but like I said, these two son bitches want the MVP. They're not going to let the coaches take it out of their hand. They're going to do everything they can do. So we'll see how the run game factors in. But like I said earlier, Torch, weeks ago, the running game being inconsistent is Ken Dorsey's fault. You can't give a ball to a running back once in the first quarter, then twice in the second quarter, and expect him in the third and fourth quarter to be in rhythm. It's a sport. It's like the NBA. You got to get into a rhythm. You can't get running backs into a rhythm if you don't give them the ball but twice in the first half or once in the first quarter. So I'm glad that he finally figured out that, hey, you got to kind of give these some bitches the ball a little bit more, and then they're going to be more effective. But I think the run games are going to be complementary on both sides. They really are. It's going to be Josh and Burrow just gunning at each other, and I can't wait to see it.
All right. So you guys both say Buffalo. I'm actually amiss almost to say it's going to be Cincinnati. But Buffalo is on the road this week, in which I think it'll help Buffalo get some rhythm to be able to run the ball, establish a run game first. So I'm going to go with Buffalo on this one as well. If this was in Buffalo, I would say it's different. I'd go the other way with it. I'd say it's the Bengals all day. I'd say Blaze, the monster machine is going to get rolling in Buffalo, right? Now, before we talk about defense, we got to talk about the wide receiver positions. Obviously, this one is something to watch. You got Ja'Marr Chase. Ja'Marr Chase. Chase is on the case against Stephon Finesse Diggs. Which one has the better game? And then which wide receiving core is more impactful to this game? Monster.
Yeah. It's a push. It's a push. Everything that we have on our side, they have the equivalent of on their side.
Yeah.
That's why the records are identical. That's why the teams are playing almost identical. They have the same weapons that we have to mirror us. My question is, does Gabe Davis show up this week, or does Gabe Davis disappear? You know what I'm saying? Where's Gabe Davis going to be? That's what I'm looking for. But same thing with Higgins. It's you just go down the line and you're like, all right, this guy. They're comparable. They're very comparable. That's why this is going to be a great game because they have the same weapons to answer that we have. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be one of those games where it's just, I don't know how it's going to turn out. It could be a completely shit game. You know what I mean? It's the NFL. We have no idea how this game is going to turn out. This game could be fantastic. It could be the game of the year, or it could be 14-7 for some reason, and it's just shit. Like, but that's the excitement about football. We have no idea how this game's going to turn out. But as far as looking at a team and going, oh, we outmatched them, or looking at them saying we have the advantage here, we have the advantage there, it's very hard to do with Cincinnati. There's very slim margins there. They're very similar teams, and they're going to get it home.
Blaze.
Yeah, I think both receivers, as far as like Diggs versus Chase, is going to have a good game. I got to give the edge to my guy, Ja'Marr Chase. I think he's a big game receiver. Over the last couple of weeks, I mean, he's been having good, like decent games, but I think it's setting up for that breakout this week. I almost wanted to say Diggs just because of our cornerback room, Eli Apple, and we have a rookie on the other side, Cam Taylor-Britt. So I think that I think if they target Diggs enough, then he'll have the better game. But I think that also with that, if they target Diggs how I expect him to, he'll have a bigger game. Also, I think that Cincinnati's going to spread the ball more than Buffalo is. I think that, Buffalo's going to go to Diggs. I think that Burrow's going to target Boyd, going to target Higgins, going to target the tight end, going to target mixing out the backfield. So I think that Joe spreads it around more. So that might lead to a Diggs having slight edge.
All right. And for the first time in this show, I smell a cap. I smell a cap. Hella cap. Come on, Blaze. Why you capping over here? You said that they're going to be targeting Diggs all game. They haven't targeted. Listen, the last couple of weeks, Stephon Diggs hasn't really been targeted that much. I expect a whole lot of the same tomorrow. You want to know why I expect the same? Because you got to fit in John Brown. You got to fit in Beasley. You got Gabe Davis, Mr. Three Catch, according to Sam Slade, Mr. Three Catch, right? You got all those guys. You got Khalil Shakur to use. You got Dawson Knox to use. I smell a cap in the room. You talking about Diggs, and they ain't gonna spread the ball around. Oh man, Blaze, you must think this is gonna be a Diggs party, huh? He just gonna dig y'all hole and bury.
For their sake, that's their best game plan. Their best game plan is get the ball in Diggs' hands, because unless Gabe Davis beats us deep for a long one, like, he's not gonna do much. We got solid tacklers. Those slot receivers, I mean, they'll get some catches, but Diggs is the one we're same thing with Poyer. Diggs is the guy we're circling. Diggs
Well, Blaze, I think when there's smoke, there's fire, right, Blaze? I think you know that, right? When there's smoke, there's fire.
That's right.
You ain't even counting in John Brown. John Brown don't count for nothing. He can't go deep.
I count John Brown like 3-4 years ago.
Monster. You hear this? Do you hear this? Do you agree with Blaze? You agree they going to Stephon Diggs all game?
It's going to be how the game plan's drawn up. The reason why Diggs hasn't been getting catches is because they're covering his ass. They're double teaming him. Like, simple sports. So, will they target him? Yeah, Diggs will get his targets and Diggs will get his catches. It's just overall, what's going to be the impact at the end of the game that he has on the game? You know what I'm saying? We've looked elsewhere to win games when Diggs has been locked down or Diggs has been covered. You know what I'm saying? But he still has 100 receptions. He's still going to get his numbers. He's still going to eat. It's just sometimes you got to take the food off your plate, let somebody else eat. You know what I mean? Diggs is going to be guarded. Same way Ja'Marr Chase is going to be guarded. That's what I'm going to look for. Who are we going to have on Ja'Marr Chase? Are we going to have Trey White on Ja'Marr Chase? Because Trey White don't look 100% yet. Mentally, he don't look like he's there yet.
No, I would. That's a Kaiir Elam thing for me. You got to get Kaiir Elam involved. The bigger, more physical corner, the speedster corner. I would be putting him on Chase. I would let Elam harass him all game. He's got to. I tell you what. The problem, and I don't want to get into defense too much yet because we ain't there yet. But I think that they need to get more aggressive at the secondary position. Like, if you go down the line and you look at the secondary, you can see that there's a lack of aggression. Dane Jackson, not aggressive enough when the ball comes around him, right? Giving up many plays because he doesn't turn his head around because he's not aggressive enough to try to go for the ball. And even when they try to be aggressive, it's the wrong time to be aggressive, in which you let Justin Jefferson catch that one-handed pass when you should have just knocked the ball down, right? So Trey White's not 100% yet. Xavier Rhodes is a veteran. I'm not putting Xavier Rhodes on Ja'Marr Chase. that's asking for you to chase around all game, which we ain't trying to chase. Chase is already on the case. You don't need to chase him around all night, or that's a bad time for the Bills, right? Matt Manzella said smart football. Shout out to Matt Manzella. Shout out to Dennis Holmes, who's watching as well. He's a tentative. You better circle the whole team. Bring Leonard Smith type of play. Yeah, man. I mean, again, this is going to be a very intricate game for sure. Somebody, this is Blaze. They said Paw Patrol. Of course, Paw Patrol was coming. Writer chases on the case, right? Monster, what are you doing? Obviously, since we talk about the wide receivers a little bit, they're gonna be guarding them, probably double covering them. But how do you contain? Can you contain these two guys? Is there a way to contain Chase?
You got to scheme for it. You got a game plan for it. That's what your job is. Your job as a coordinator and a head coach drawing up a game plan every week is to figure out a way to take their weapons away. They have to do the same thing with us. If you can formulate the game plan, I mean, let's be honest. Great players are always going to make great plays. They're always going to eat here and there. They're always going to find a way to get that touchdown or to get over. That's what makes them elite. You know what I mean? That's what makes them elite. But as far as that goes, just you got to have a game plan. And I wouldn't know how to scheme for it. Just like I wouldn't know how to scheme for our offense. I'm not a defensive coordinator. I don't know all that shit. But you got to come up with one hell of a game plan because these dudes are going to come ready to play, and same thing with us. So as long as Leslie Frazier has some kind of a game plan to manage these guys and keep their production minimal, then we got a shot. But again, there's been games where Leslie Frazier, we watch and we're like, I don't know what the hell this dude's doing. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know what he's calling. What kind of a game plan is this? So it'll be quite interesting. But yeah, you got to scheme and you got to figure out a way to slow him down. Don't let him get over the top or what have you, because if that happens, it's going to be a long day for our secondary, bro. Like, Cincinnati's wide receiver core is not a joke. Now, there's Miami and the Patriots, I kind of piss on them, but I have respect for Cincinnati.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. 110%. You gotta give the Bengals respect. It's the reason why I had the Bengals the year before winning the division when nobody did. Remember that, Blaze? You remember that, right? You remember me? Yeah, man. I give your team a lot of props, right? Because of T. Higgins, because of Chase being on the case, because of the wide receiving core, because of the tight end core. You gotta love it. Now, before again we talk defense. Matter of fact, let's get the defense fine. We'll talk about Dawson Knox and them later on. Defensively, there's some questionables. All right, Jordan Poyer is questionable right now, and Sam Hubbard is questionable right now. My question to you is, if they both play, right, which player has more impact on this game, Jordan Poyer or Sam Hubbard? And that's for you, Monster, to start.
Honestly, I haven't watched a lot of Cincinnati, so I don't know what Hubbard does for that team. You know what I mean? Like, I know he's a good player, but I like watching every week. I know what Jordan Poyer brings to us. I see how our defense plays different week to week, whether he's in the lineup or he's not in the lineup. So as far as that goes, without knowing what Hubbard means to their defense, I'm just going to have to say Jordan Poyer by default, because I know exactly how important. We haven't lost a game yet. Every game he's played, we've won. Every game he hasn't, we've lost. So it's simple mathematics there. But I know Hubbard's an important piece of their defense. I just haven't watched enough about him to make a formal opinion and give it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to talk on a guy I don't really know much about. I'll leave that to Blaze.
Yeah. I mean, I spoke earlier. Jordan Poyer, circle that guy. I mean, Sam Hubbard. I love Sam Hubbard. Of course, he's a Bengal. He's a great player. No disrespect, but he's not the guy that you circle on our defense. We got DJ Reader in the middle. He's more beneficial to the line. And then Trey Hendrickson on the other end. He's our big sack guy. But Sam Hubbard's a great player. Cincinnati guy. Cincinnati high school, Ohio State for college. So he's a good player, hustle, team player. But yeah, Jordan Poyer is the more X factor of the two.
All right, let me read these comments. BJ Samuels, Happy New Year to you, sir. He said, get Blaze out of here. He said, get him out of here.
Hey, kind of like how the Ravens are about to get out of here after they lose to the Steelers and lose the division today. So
he said that Joe team gonna lose 2 weeks in a row, which means he's got the Buffalo Bills winning this game. Giuseppe Ciccarelli, my brother, love you to death, my bro. Happy New Year, definitely to you. They said Poyer power. They said Poyer. They believe in Poyer. Shout out to my brother, J. Andre Kincaid. You know, Jaw U Club, baby. Happy New Year to you as well. I'm going to be honest with you. Jordan Poyer, when he plays for the Buffalo Bills, this team is undefeated. Undefeated. Undisputed. I love Sam Hubbard as a pass rusher over there. You know, gotta give him his respect for what he does. He's one of the reasons why the Bengals made it to the Super Bowl last year, with that pressure that he puts on with his line mates. But Jordan Poyer has to have a great game to me in order to, sustain some things. You got T. Higgins running around, who has over 1,000 yards this season, by the way. Give him his respect, right? Give that Clemson guy his respect. T. Higgins. I'm going to go with Poyer. I got to go with Poyer on this one. But we got to talk more into the defense, too. Which defensive line, speaking of Sam Hubbard and defenses, will have better game? Will it be Buffalo's defensive line, or will it be Cincinnati's defensive line? Who can get to the quarterback more? Who has more of an impact on this game? I'll start with you, Monster.
And looking at the rankings, the Bengals are 20th in defense against the pass. Right, that's we're not that far behind. It says we're 14th at 231. So there's definitely some opportunity from some explosive points here as far as the passing game goes. Rushing, we're both stopped. You guys are 7th, we're 4th. So we'll see where the run game's working. But yeah, buddy, you got 2nd in the league in points allowed, us at 17, and they're 9th at 20. So that holds up. We're looking at a 2017 game, and the over-under for this game is 49. So they expect some points to be put up in this game. It's basically a push as far as Vegas goes. You know what I'm saying? But the defenses are going to – I don't know, buddy. I think looking at it and watching our defense and the way they've played over the course of the year, even now without Von Miller, for all the year without Micah Hyde, and all the injuries we've had in between, not making excuses for anything. Every team gets injuries. I looked at Cincinnati's injury list. It looks just like ours. You know what I'm saying? So just based on that, just based on the stats and just based on shit, I hate stats. I hate stats.
I know.
Based on the stats, the two teams that are really damn close, I mean, it comes down to the stats. It looks like it's going to be a shootout in the air. You know what I'm saying? So we got Poyer back there. They got Bell back there. You know what I mean? So we're going to see what happens. I really don't have an opinion about who wins this game. I feel it's that close. I'm a lean towards.
Monster? What a monster without an opinion who wins a football game? Wow. That's a first. New Year start.
I got to keep it real. I can't come out here and shit on Cincinnati like I can the Jets. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just
absolutely.
It's not there. If I say the same thing about Cincinnati with their records, I say about the Jets, I look like a jerk off because obviously we're talking about two different things. So that's what I mean. That's my perspective on how this game's gonna go. I gotta keep it honest with you, Torch. You know what I'm saying? I shit on them after we beat them, but right now I gotta give them their respect, buddy. You know me. I'll give respect where it's due, except the Patriots.
Absolutely, it's called professional journalism, which is what I like. We got great professional journalists in the building. Joe Monster McDowell in the building. We got Blaze Thunder Gabbard in the building. You know who he is. That Bengals team, man. Paw Patrol. They coming. Paw Patrol. Now, Blaze, your thoughts on that?
I think if you're looking at stats, if you're looking at the nice flashy stats like stats, pressure on the quarterback, the Bills on paper are gonna get the lean. But if you watch the whole game on Monday night and you see all 4 guys with their hand in the dirt grinding, and overall who's gonna do better, I think I'm gonna have to lean towards the Bengals because I think it's gonna be a tale of 2 halves. I think the first half the Bills are gonna have the edge. They're gonna have us on our toes. We're gonna be trying to figure things out. But that's how the Bengals are a lot of weeks. We make very, very good second half adjustments. We haven't seen this Bills team. So usually when we haven't seen a team, they kind of have an advantage in the first half. But I think that the run is going to be a big factor of how the Bills would win this game or how they should try and win this game. So I think that when it comes to stopping those runs, stopping Josh Allen in that second half of the game, this is why I'm going to give the lean to the Bengals for overall better defensive line this week.
All right. Walter Potter said Trey White has a pick 6 tomorrow. We will talk about secondary coming up shortly. Here's what I think. I think you have
$10 Walter and go put a pick 'em on that. Go put a pick 'em on it. Take some money.
Absolutely. Speaking of pick'ems, I got my bro right now asking me about picks this week, which we really haven't done, which we probably will get into probably like the very, very end of the show. Like after we done talked about the Bills, Bengals, might just real quick run down some picks. Why not? All right. But my thoughts on this defensive line in a session is both have great defensive lines to me. When they get busy, they get busy. When they ready, they get ready. I need Rousseau. I need Ed Oliver. I need what I've seen from AJ Epinesa to be prevalent in this game. I need it. All right. You can't just let Joe Burrow sit back there and pick you apart. All right. He will pick you apart. All right. He's a surgeon, just like Josh Allen. You can't let Josh Allen just sit there and pick you guys apart. Sam Hubbard is going to have to put some pressure. He's going to have to win some battles. Can he win against Quisenberry? Can he win against Deion Dawkins? Can he win? Win. All right. I think you said, like you said earlier, this game is kind of hard to choose just for the simple fact that it's so close. Like, it's so close. Statistically, it's close. The teams are so close. This is what we wanted to see last year, right? We wanted to see the Bills-Bengals in the AFC Championship game last year. Now, players, we getting it this year early in the season, right? Right? So now, I think it's all chips a go. Can we see this again? Probably. We could see this again, right? It might happen later on in the AFC Championship this year, right?
Well, this is what we're playing for this week. I mean, with the Chiefs having the Broncos and the Raiders, we're playing for the second meeting. Either the Bills are playing to play in Buffalo or we're playing to keep it in Cincinnati. This is what this game means because with all reality, the Chiefs probably win the last 2. So we're playing for the home field for that second game.
Yeah, absolutely. I will give the slight edge to neither. I think this is an even Steven. I'm going right down the line. Monster created that wave, and I don't like to surf on a wave, but I'll do it on this one, just out of the respect of journalism and what's real. Both of these lines can get busy, all right, when they want. Now, who has the better run defense, to me, matters. I don't know which team has the better run defense. You can put it in the comment section if you know.
We're 4th against the rush. They're 26th.
Oh, that's a major disparity.
Oh, yeah. Our defense doesn't care about yards. Our defense only cares about not letting you get in the end zone. We'll give you the yards and red zone efficiency for defense.
Well, I did not. Woo! All right. Speaking of which, let's talk about secondaries and linebackers.
Hold on, Torch. If you think about the game this week, like you said, they're trying to play for at least the second playoff game at home or what have you. But if the Bengals beat us, and then it could happen. You got 2 shit teams at the end of the season for the Chiefs. Okay, they could be looking well past Denver. They could be looking well past it. There's still a chance they lay an egg in one of these games. So that's how important it is. Cincinnati beats us and Kansas City lays an egg. Cincinnati now gets that number 1 spot. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot that can go into this game here. Like, but it does predicate on Cincinnati or on Kansas City laying an egg against those 2 shitbirds.
I'm not saying they lose. I'm not saying they lose, but I'm saying this game against Denver, I think it's going to be a close one. Kansas City, Denver, I think it's going to be close. And I got a formula. That every time a coach or a team fires their head coach, that next team or that next game, they win like 68 to 70% of the time.
You're not lying.
Yeah, that's true. It has happened plenty of times.
Come on, Broncos. Let's ride.
All right. With that being said, you are now tuned into, if you already have been tuned in or you just coming into the Buffalo Bills edition of Rise Up Early, my guy, Joe Monster McDowell on the 1s and 2s, Bills correspondent, Bills fanatic, Sports Illustrated model now. Sports Illustrated model. I want you to make sure y'all all go and get that wonderful face, all right, on that issue. Now, Monster, when is that issue, by the way?
February 6th, the issue drops.
Make sure you get the February 6th. It sounds like around the Super Bowl time. Make sure you get February 6th Sports Illustrated issue so you can see my guy Monster in all his splendid. All right, so you can see all of that.
You don't see none of that. All you see is that right there.
That's all good. That's all good. We'll take it. Make sure y'all support. Don't be assholes. All right, don't be assholes and not support. Support my guy Blaze Thunder Gabra in the building too. You know who he is. The Bengals.
That's right. Also in that February issue of Sports Illustrated, they'll probably have a beautiful article about the Super Bowl recap, how the Bengals won it. So, look out for that too.
Oh, buddy, boy! Wow, a lot you heard that. Look at Monster, like, yep. Mm-hmm. If you say so, yeah.
This just turned into the Sunday funnies.
you ain't letting him in right now, Monster. You ain't letting him in. You ain't gonna let him in. You gonna let him in?
Let him poke the bear a little bit. It's fine.
Yeah, a little bit. You gonna let him live on that one?
I got to expect him to rep his team. You know what I'm saying? If he came out here and was like, "Oh, the Bills are gonna kick our ass," what the fuck you bring this guy in there for? Like, rep your team. Like, I respected shit. I'll question his fandom if he didn't say they were gonna win the Super Bowl.
Right, absolutely, no question, no doubt about it. Let's talk about this secondary. And these linebackers real quick. By the way, Happy New Year to everyone who is tuned in right now. All right, I want to say that again. Linebackers, secondary. Your thoughts, Blaze?
I think as far as the Bengals, I love our linebacker play. It was our big week mark like 3 years ago, and we got 2 linebackers in the draft, Jermaine Pratt and Logan Wilson. Logan Wilson's a stud. He's got great coverage skills. If one of our linebackers can get a pick, it's gonna be Logan Wilson. I'm looking out for that. Bills, they got a good secondary. It's more of a up and coming. I mean, with White coming back from the injury, still trying to get back to what he was for the beginning of his career. And then Elam's a stud. He's a guy I wanted in the draft. He's a guy I had circled. Bills got him, went up and got him. He's going to come into his own. But I don't think he's quite there yet. I think he's going to have a rough day on Monday. Oh, and Poyer. I mean, I can only fucking drill so much about Poyer. He's a great player.
Okay. Monster, your thoughts?
I was just reading a really stupid stat. Jordan Poyer's got 4 interceptions to lead our team this year. You know how many yards he has on those 4 interceptions? 6. 6. He has 6 yards on 4 picks. I'm like, what?
They run after catchability,
All right, he just falls to the ground. He just falls to the ground. He's not running. They got a good defense. You know what I mean? You got Logan Wilson, you got Hubbard, you got, you know what I mean, Von Bell, anchor in the back. Like they're solid. There's not a weak point there. We need Tremaine Edmonds and Matt Milano to play like how they play. That's what we need. We need Tremaine Edmonds to make the correct reads and just hawk the ball because, you know, he's one of my favorite players.
I was about to say, Monster, you giving Tremaine Edmonds some props today, huh? It's a new year, I see.
You got to give credit where it's due, and I'll be the first person to eat shit when I'm wrong. I'm not saying I'm wrong about Tremaine Edmonds, but the last, I'd say 3/4 of this season, I haven't had a problem with him. And I think a lot of that's Von Miller. I think a lot of that's the tutelage he's gotten with Von Miller being there when he was in the lineup, so on and so forth. We need our linebackers to do exactly what they do, seek and destroy. Good coverage. Don't get caught on shit underneath. You know what I'm saying? Don't let the Tyreek Hill plays happen, the little 10-yard out routes that go for fucking 80 yards down the sidelines. Those need to be avoided. Those need to be read and corrected and contained by the linebackers at that level. So as long as they show up, both defenses are stacked. Like, them boys going to get it on, man. They're going to get it on.
So, Blaze, did you say your linebackers was better?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Did you say your linebackers was better?
Yeah, I would say my linebackers are better. It's just what I believe. I will say one thing that Milano, I like Milano. I like his instincts. This is going to be a good Joe Burrow versus Milano because I like Milano's first step, his instincts, his fake outs to, you know, being on one side of the field and making that cut, you know, to his assignment last second, right on point, sharp. So it's going to be Joe Burrow, you know, trying to misguide him. That's going to be a battle to watch out for.
All right. For the second time in the show, I smell a cat. Did you say what? How did you? Okay, first of all, number one, okay. I get it. I love it to death. Blaze, love you to death, bro. I get it. Trey Hendrickson and Sam Hubbard and DJ Reader help your linebackers do what they need to do to be able to do certain things in the run game that y'all. What's y'all 20th? What's y'all defensive run defense? What is that? 20?
Those are yards, not points.
What is it? 20th? Is it 20th? 21. Is it 21? 21. Man, listen, y'all don't got linebackers like Tremaine Edmonds and Matt Milano, man. Cut this out, man. Both of them literally should have been Pro Bowlers. I like Logan Wilson. Don't get it twisted. Like him. Pratt, pretty good. But to put them up against Matt Milano, the season Matt has had, and the season Edmonds has had, is a stretch, a far stretch of the imagination, sir. I'm sorry. I can't do it. I can't sit here and be like, oh, yeah, this is one that's even. No. Just for the fact that they have both improved in places that they need to. We talked about Edmonds being in the coverage. More of a Sam than a Mike. He has proven this year he can be a Mike for sure. He's proven this year he's a proven Mike this time. Matt Milano, better in coverage, better with his tackling abilities, better helping to run because that was part of Matt Milano's problem before, right? Proven this year, stamped, signed, sealed, delivered this year. Both of them have worked on their inabilities, have covered up those weaknesses that they've had in past. And they are Pro Bowlers. Both of them should be. I'm not understanding. Were they Pro Bowlers? Did they get picked? Monster? Terrible.
I think so.
Terrible.
Who gives a shit about the Pro Bowl?
No. It's not the Pro Bowl that we care about the game. It's the selection that you care about. It's being selected and being understood that, hey, you're one of the best. The selection matters more than the game does. But go ahead,
I will say, though, I think that the linebackers are more important to the Bills. I think that the way our scheme is for as far as linebackers, because like Jermaine Pratt and Logan Wilson are fine players, but the way our system is, it doesn't really matter who's in that linebacker because it's the most minimal position on our defense. You can kind of rotate anybody in and out of there. It's more of a scheme thing. So our scheme is not going to be set up for big stats for the linebackers. You know, not for sacks. We don't have blitzing linebackers. But Logan Wilson does get some picks, so I say Logan Wilson's better than Milano. I mean, whatever stats.
I don't know about that shit. Now he's smoking something on that.
Hey, that might be just a bias. That might be some bias, but you know, that's just my opinion. I take Logan Wilson over Milano all day and all night.
All right.
And all
Okay.
night.
All right. We'll respect it. We'll respect that. Real quick, give us your predictions for this game and who will be the X factor. Blaze.
Predictions?
Oh.
All right.
All right.
I'm gonna say it's close. I'm gonna say the Bills win it 34-21.
Close.
34. It's as close as you guys are gonna get to us. I mean, I give you respect out of that. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you're coming with a team who's I think your guys' total team sacks is like 18. Like, you guys don't get the quarterback a lot, and that's going to play a big factor in this one. Like, you got a guy, Hubbard leads you guys with 6.5 sacks. Von Miller still has 8, and the dude hasn't played in like 3 weeks.
Blaze,
so you
guys only have 18 sacks for the year.
What?
Honestly,
You guys only have 18 sacks for the year.
I don't know what the number is, but he's not lying about we don't get to the quarterback. We only rush 4. These guys, those 4 are not dominant to get to the quarterback.
Wait a minute. Did you just say the front 4 isn't dominant to get to the quarterback?
To get to the quarterback, I mean they get pressure. They don't get a lot of sacks, but it's because they only rush 4. Like I said, we don't blitz. We do blitz the nickel like Mike Hilton. The linebackers don't blitz. So, I mean, Henderson's is fine. He does a fine job.
All right, Blaze, what's your prediction for this game?
See, my prediction is that everybody, going into the season had the Bills as a favorite, as a Super Bowl favorite, and everyone's saying that, oh, we gotta circle this game, we gotta play the Bills. But listen, you guys gotta play us. The idea of a Super Bowl, the idea of being the best team in the AFC is just an idea. It's just a projection. It's just what you guys are supposed to be. It's what the media will tell you. But we are that. We are the last AFC champions. And you know what? You're going to go to Cincinnati, and you got to play us. And it's going to be a close game. It's going to be 30-28. Cincinnati Bengals win on a last-second field goal. Buffalo tries to come back. They got the time to come back. 1 minute. Doesn't get it done. Interception. Von Bell. Run this back on Tuesday morning or Monday night, whatever you want.
Ooh. All right. Well, I will say this. So 30-28 is yours. Bengals, 34-21 Bills, Monsters. I have it 37-30 Buffalo by a touchdown late in the game. Just too much. I just think there's too much. That defense will hold up. I think the defense will singe in late, and I think Buffalo gets the job done, in which we have a conversation about number 1 next week against New England when they come back here, which we will be loud and proud for, by the way. I will be there at that Patriots game coming up. Can't wait. It should be very interesting. You are talking like the big dogs. Y'all are the big dogs of the AFC. I mean, Joe Mixon did say that. Joe Mixon said we the big dogs in the AFC. I mean,
we are the big dogs. We have the MVP quarterback. We're gonna win this game.
You're cats. You're not dogs. You're big cats. You're big cats.
Hey, as long as we're big, you know what I'm saying?
Did you say big cats or big cap?
What do cats do? What do cats do when they're scared? They burrow.
Ooh.
Oh,
You don't see about that one.
That's a good one. Now,
that's pretty
listen,
solid,
I cannot listen. This thing is starting to warm up. I cannot wait to see Monsters. The video that Monster does every week for these teams. I can't wait to see it.
Tag me in this video because I need to see this video.
I can't wait to see this Get Up video. They need to put that. They need to put that on there too. Make sure that they talk about the Get Up videos that you do, Monster.
I don't think it's an article. It's just they're gonna post my picture in the Bills Mafia. They needed my name for photo credit, so it's just gonna be a picture. It's just gonna be a picture, but that's fine. I don't need to say nothing.
Yeah. I would say Joe Monster McDowell, creator of Get Up, the Get Up videos. Go look on YouTube for these Get Up videos.
Well, they ain't gonna give me no motherfucking foot line and that shit. Talking Sports Illustrated. Man, I don't got no creative control.
Man, tell their asses to give you the respect, man. Give you that respect. Care if it's Sports Illustrated.
That's all right. Throw my picture on the page. I'm good with that. You know, I don't give a shit about that stuff, Torch. It's cool.
That's right. Throw the picture on the page. I'll make sure I'm hanging that joint up, man. That's a ring right there. Love them rings. Love those rings. All right. Speaking of which, it's been a phenomenal time. Blaze, Monster, appreciate you both coming on. Happy New Year to everybody. We got a lot of football to watch coming up. Blaze, I'm looking at
some people's asses before we get off. So
yeah, I'm looking to get you back on the show again coming up real soon.
And I mean I respect the Bills. And it doesn't matter if this doesn't go my way and the Bills do win this game. I'm just gonna say one thing: we will see you again in 3 weeks. No matter who wins this game, this rematch is happening in 3 weeks, and that time it for sure is gonna go my way.
Okay, Monster.
Speak it into existence. The power of positivity. I like it. But okay, so I got to call out a few assholes. I'm not going to use names. I'm just going to be very general and specific about it. Last week, we had a humongous fucking storm here in Buffalo, in case you had your head up your asses. All right? 7 feet of snow. It was terrible. We had 40 people die in this blizzard. Do you know, Torch, that I still had assholes messaging me? Oh, Monster, no Get Up video this week? Oh, you're not doing a Get Up this week? You realize my family's in danger right now? We're in a fucking blizzard and you're wondering where my Get Up video is? Here's my Get Up video for all you people that fucking asked. It's right here. How dare you just demoralize the fact that I'm an actual fucking human being with a family that I'm trying to take care of during these fucking blizzard, and you're worried about me getting on here and yelling like an asshole. Like, get your fucking priorities straight. So if you DM'd me and you're like, hey, where's the Get Up? I didn't answer you. I called you a jerk off and I closed the window. Now, shout out to a lot of people that did ask where the video was, but also asked about my family and asked if we were okay. That's fine. I answered those people. I love you guys. I respect it. A lot of people reached out and made sure me and my family were okay. But for the ones who didn't give two shits and just asked where my video was, stick your fucking heads up your ass. That's very disrespectful to me. And it's very evident that you don't give a shit about me as a person. You just want me to get out and fucking song and dance and sing for you on the internet. So if you're one of those people, kindly, respectfully, go fuck yourselves.
Yeah, you know what, Monster? See, I wasn't even going to mention it, but you just gave me segue to mention it. Thank you very much. By the way, Happy New Year to everybody. Last week, obviously, Monster mentioned about the blizzard and everything. We were supposed to have an Everything Buffalo show on the 30th, the end of the year show. Well, I think everybody and their mama knows that my store was destroyed in the blizzard because of looters and because of other people, other entities that I will not speak of, who are responsible. What I will say is this: for the people that asked if I was okay, was the store, could we help? Praises to you, thank you for being very genuine. Being very caring individuals, people who did not say, well, he didn't do the show, blah, blah, blah. Like you said, they was looking for a Get Up. Like, are you serious? People was literally dying. People was losing power in their houses. People was struggling, suffering. Families was dying on benches, frozen in snow. Like, you got to be kidding me. Like, for those people who think like that, I don't have very high thoughts for you. I have no high regard for you. If
No.
you care about a show more than you care about an individual, and that's whether they're sick or not, whether they're sick or they're having issues, major catastrophes going on in their life, and you don't care about the person, you don't ask about the person, but you care about the show, you don't need followers, you don't need people to watch you. You need a reality check. All right. This is sports talk. We love sports talk. Journalism is great, but we have to put in priority what things matter the most first, and family and people's livelihoods and well-beings come first before this shit. Let's be clear. We do this for fun.
If you have a problem with any of that, if you have a problem with any of what Tor said, if you got a problem with any of what I said, do me a favor. Get the fuck off the page. I say it to people on Twitch. I don't need your view. I don't want your view. If you're that kind of person, I don't need your view. I don't want your view. I don't want your money. Get the fuck off and go watch somebody else that's doing their jerk off fucking show. Because there's a million douchebags doing podcasts and 90% of them fucking suck. So if you're that kind of person, we don't need your view. Get the fuck off our page, unfollow, and just don't bother again. Because we don't need that kind of energy or those type of people around us at all.
Yeah, I totally agree. And again, that's why I'm appreciative. Again, people like Blaze appreciate you. Thank you for support all year long, unwavering support. And again, it's 2023. Can't wait, cannot wait. 2023 is a new year. I did have announcements to make, but I decided not to make those announcements just because I'm just going to let people watch. That's it. Watch and see what happens. And, you'll see the results. I'd rather you see an action. So continue to support, be genuine. Appreciate y'all. This is the Buffalo Bills edition to Rise Up Early. Starting off the new year right. Hopefully the Buffalo Bills will win Monday night so that
sorry guys,
so we can recap this thing so I can talk shit to Blaze. All right. Sorry. And so Monster can talk big stuff to Blaze as well. I can't wait to hear that. All right. Enjoy. See y'all later.
All right, take it easy.
I ain't no joke.